Hey everybody, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net. I know it's been a while. We are actually working on a brand new video series. I'm going to put one online every single Saturday called Heat Signature. Heat Signature is basically a video series that will look at the games that are lesser known, like the one I'm talking about today, Cube World, and try to bring them to your attention, try to give them a little bit of hype, and drum up some interest there. So Cube World is the one we're talking about today. It's a really cool game. I just discovered it a couple days ago thanks to my friend Legendary Cake from the Gamers Nexus forums, and basically it's a combination, as stated by the developer himself, of Diablo, Minecraft, Zelda, and a little bit of MMOs in there. He didn't specifically mention EverQuest, he mentioned WoW actually, but I really see a ton of EverQuest elements in here when I watch the videos, and that has me stoked. And I don't even know where to start with Cube World, to be honest. It's so cool. It's a massive open world. It's a voxel based game, okay? So it's cubes and, generating cubes, just like kind of like Minecraft does. And it is a very big open world generator. You can do some building. It's not as creativity focused as Minecraft is. It is more adventure focused and more exploration focused, which honestly is cooler to me because it has a little bit more longevity. Creativity, it's great if you're a really creative person, if you have a lot of time on your hands, if you have a lot of people to share with, but adventuring is really where the bulk of the fun comes in for a lot of us, I think. And in this game, the reason adventuring is so cool is because there are tons of different types of monsters, and they will appear based on the biomes. The game is focused heavily on combat, exploration, on quests, on seeing cool things, on looking at biomes with different creatures in them. And so, there are dragons, there are lizard folk, orcs, trolls, all kinds of stuff. You can even have pets, like you can get a pet dog, pet horse, so I don't know if you call it a pet, more of a mount, but you get what I'm saying. And the game is combat focused more than Minecraft, which is really just it's you know what I'm talking about if you've played it. It's a really clunky combat. Like Minecraft, you just really want to focus on building and mining. Once you get into combat, it sort of ruins the immersion of the game because it's so simplistic and so basic, and you just hold down left click and back away and hold it again. But this game actually, you have real health, you have levels, you have and Minecraft has added some level stuff, but this is much more focused and really adventure game based. So from the get-go, there are levels, experience, you can get quests from NPCs you encounter. NPCs can have shops, you can build buildings wall to wall instead of block by block. And wall by wall building really just means it's templated to some extent. There are blueprints in this game. So for example, you get like a 10 by 10 blueprint of a wall, and then you put it next to another one, and then you eventually build a house or a store or a lighthouse or something to that extent. And certainly it's a little bit more limited than Minecraft, but there's still a lot of room for creativity in there, especially if a mod API is developed in the future. Getting down more into the game, it is currently called Cube World, but the developer recently announced in a tweet to one of his fans that he does have a new name for it. He will be changing the name when alpha comes out. There's currently no alpha or beta, just a lot of videos and speculation and screenshots, but he will be changing the name. We don't know what it's called yet, but I will be sure to let you know as soon as it changes. And he said he's planning to launch alpha within the first quarter. And I don't know if that's entirely realistic, but it's a pretty complete looking game, as you can see here playing in the background. So if it happens, then that's excellent. I can't wait to play it. Regarding items, there will be no custom item creation like in Minecraft. You can't create it from scratch so far. He might add it later, but so far not really. You do get upgrades. You can add cubes to your weapons, to your armor, and you can actually shape the way your weapon looks. So you can make it jagged on the left side, or alternating jagged spikes off the sides of it left and right. You can wear helmets, you can customize them, you can make them out of different, well, not make them, but you can upgrade them out of different materials, and you can enchant them with spirits, they're called. You get them from spirit stones that enemies drop. All this really cool stuff, and it always comes down to exploring and to adventuring. And that's where Zelda really shines, and where Minecraft sort of stops and gets super boring is the adventuring. So when I say adventuring, I mean combat, I mean discovering dungeons and cool items, really cool places, and fighting your way through the world, and you know, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. If I didn't say it already, there will be dragons in this game. The dungeons, which have only recently started leaking out by the developer, will have traps. They will have levers. They're true dungeons. I mean, they're the kind of stuff that you might find in Diablo or might find in any other game. They're not super complex, but they are cool. And I've seen screenshots where there are traps that shoot fire out of the walls. There's levers that you need to find and pull to open a gate, stuff like this. Skeletons, zombies, all that good stuff. I'm sure there are treasure chests in there, and it's really it's a fun dungeon delving experience from the looks of it. Of course, the overworld exploration is really where the game is currently focused, but he's adding dungeons as we speak, or as I speak, I should say, unless you're talking with me, which is kind of weird because I talk kind of fast, so you don't really get a chance to speak. But looking at some of the other stuff, I'm just looking through a list right now. There's so much cool stuff to this game, and it's growing every day, and it's entirely focused on that experience that I've been talking about. It's focused on that building, that growing, that ever-growing universe experience. Totally voxel based. The graphics as a technology aren't anything extremely impressive, but the aesthetics are really great looking. Aesthetics versus graphics, if you don't know, there's an old Penny Arcade discussion panel where they say aesthetics are how a game cohesively appears with everything together, so all the colors, all the textures, versus graphics, which are technology oriented, but that's another discussion. Looking at gameplay, there will be different races and they will have an effect on gameplay. So if you play a frog person, you might jump higher. If you play an orc, you might have more stamina. That kind of stuff, and you know, it's what you might find in an MMO, but it's really not super common in these builder based games. Builder as in the gamer personality, and so that's kind of cool to see magic and spells and skill trees and stuff like that in a game that's really based around just seeing things. And I think that's what's going to make this game explode in popularity over the next couple months, so keep your eye on it. You'll definitely want to pre-order it while it's cheap if this is your kind of game. You can plant a home anywhere, you can build your villages. I'm sure there will be mods of all types if he has an API or if he has a way to plug into the game. He hasn't yet announced one, but it is built on DirectX 9. He says you will need about 2 gig of RAM, which I'm sure almost everyone here has. If you don't, then go to gamersnexus.net and look at one of our custom PC builds. We help you put them together for dirt cheap, so if you need help with that, we're here. He says you only need a DirectX 9 compatible GPU, so nothing fancy. And man, it is. I'm just looking at the screenshots here. This game is beautiful looking. It is so cool. There's already a couple fan sites out there. I'll put those links in the description below. But anyway, I'll be doing more posts on this as I get more news and updates, and more videos, of course, so please check back. If you liked this video and you think this game looks awesome like I do, then like this video, comment, rate, whatever YouTube does, subscribe. Please subscribe. It helps me make more of these, and we do have more people on staff that I want to get involved in video production, so subscribe if you want to see more videos, and share it with your friends. Thanks for all your support, everybody, and keep an eye on this page for more info on Cube World. Peace.